How do you deal with like the low times that you're going through, or that you go through?
Oh, bro, like there's more low times than there are high times.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like that's like saying how do you deal with life, and you know how you deal with
I
it.
like that though. I like
Yeah,
how you phrase that still.
bro, it's true. Like I would even say where I am right now at the moment is a low time, but you wouldn't know because I'm able to still verbalize. In fact, this is probably therapeutic for me. This is helpful for me to not feel as low as maybe I feel or I felt. But through low times, it's good to have good people around you. It's good to have at least one or two, three or four people that you can confide in honestly and just say, yo, you know what, I'm just feeling a bit low.
Do you think it's difficult to do that as men?
It is for me, yeah.
I've done a piece about that which I'm gonna drop.
Very difficult for me. I don't, it's, even when I do it, I don't do it completely. I just go so far. I don't, I do poetry because I found it hard to express emotionally. I've expressed in poems things that I felt emotionally that I could never express.
I mean, even for me, there's stuff that I want to say in poems that I just.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you can maybe, but I have written poetry. See, that's why I like written poetry, because my written poetry is very different to my spoken. My written poetry is very high English.
Okay,
And,
so your spoken poetry and written poetry are two different things.
Yeah,
okay.
My spoken from the start had been more colloquial.
Okay.
And a bit more so, because I wanted people to catch things. My written poetry, I didn't really want you to catch it unless you really maybe understood emotionally. Like, I've written a poem called A Toilet. It's called Toilet, but it's about how men use women.
God.
Yeah, I mean, you have to read it. It's not something that I've ever spoken. Okay. You have to. I'll send you the link. Yeah, I'll send you the link. And it's like, yeah, like I've written a poem called "Why Is It So Hard?" That seems like it's talking about like a hard like time in life, but it's talking about horniness. Yeah, like it's talking about like kind of like yeah, exactly. It's talking like about like a kind of like incessant horniness, like you know what I mean, just like being highly sexed, you know what I mean, and I loved it because this is why I love words, because especially my written poetry for me is probably so much better than my spoken, but I like my spoken because I like rhythm, and I feel like I've got a good understanding of rhythm and phonetic rhyming. Like that's something that I discovered later, because I always felt like rhyming had to be structured, but then when I discovered phonetic rhyming, it's one of the most mind-blowing things ever. Yeah. Like I remember I had a line that said tapping at bay and scrapping away. It's like all that, the ability to like rhyme phonetically with words, it's like was a game changer. But anyway, that's getting too deep into the poetry thing. But like yeah. But yeah, the spoken is very different. I love it because I can write a poem and express my deepest, most emotion, but I can disguise it so well with words and writing techniques that only someone who's really on. I've got a friend who's on the level who can. She sometimes breaks it down. One of my best friend. Big up Grace. Big up Talifa. She often can break down what I'm speaking about, but sometimes she can't. But she's probably the only person that can often break it down. But that's what I love about poetry and words, is that I can write my innermost like feelings, and unless you really kind of like can get deep like that into somebody else's words and mind, you'll never know. But at the same time, I've put it out. There it is.
It's the universe now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like boom, I've got it off my chest at least. And yeah.
Why do you think it's so difficult for men to talk? Lastly, we're starting to wrap up. Why do you think it's so difficult for men to talk about stuff like this?
It's difficult for a certain type of man. Men that are from the kind of place that we're from find it hard to express emotionally because that has never been something that has been allowed. What?
It's frowned upon even.
What do you mean you're feeling? What do you mean you're feeling like emotion? My man, fix up. What's going on? What? What, you want to go home to your mum? Like, what do you mean you don't feel right? Man don't feel. Man don't feel. Man just rides. Man ain't feel. What's man feeling for? If you're feeling, come off the roads. If you're feeling, don't be around the man.
Especially when you're talking on a road set. You know, and this brings me back to what I was saying about how normalised you are with the situation, because real life situations always has a a huge part on the roads. And it's almost like you don't want to feel emotion because you're on the roads. And you can't have that emotion thing around the man them on the roads because we're probably all going through it, but all on the roads because of that.
And we're all broken beings.
All broken. You know what's so mad? I had a conversation one time when I was on the hood. And it was late. I was on curfew as well. So I was like...
On tag.
Yeah. But I wasn't actually on the tag. It was just the curfew thing. That's why I used to fly all the time.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, I don't know how we started, but we were talking about why we were on the road, a group of us. And when we started having that conversation, it transpired that, we're actually going through stuff. All of us individually are going through stuff, but we're not talking about it.
Never spoke about it. Never.
I think that would have been the same with you.
But it's mad, yeah. I remember one of the elders sat us down one time. This is a bit different though. But I remember he sat us down one time and he said something like, listen, because these times, I think they clocked what was going on as well. Because there's a lot of people that use on the road that don't need to be on the road, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But he said something along the lines of like, look, man, if you're out here on the roads, getting money so that you can go and buy crepes, impress gal, or just buy clothes, come off of the roads. But if you're out here to support your family, or you actually need to be out here to eat, then you should be out here. Because if you're not here for that reason, all you're doing is hotting up the roads. And I remember he said that, not verbatim, but he said, if you're not out here for those reasons, all you're doing is hotting up the roads. And it's true.
It's true, because you're just being flashy.
Yeah. And you're hotting up the area, you're hotting up or even being connected to me, or you phoning my phone, and you're just hotting up the roads. And the thing is, there's a lot of boys, because even me, to be honest, the reason why I didn't get deeper into, I've done certain things. But the reason why I didn't get deeper into it is because I realized that I had two parents that if it really came down to it, I could say, yo, could you borrow me a tenner? You know what I mean? Could you buy me? They might not buy me the flashiest, but I knew I could turn to them. I also understood that there were some people who were my friends around me and stuff that didn't have that luxury. You know what I mean? Even having a brand name Rice Krispies was a thing. You know what I mean? It's like more time, a lot of them had like crispy rice cereal. You see me? Own brand, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It tastes the same anyway. Tastes the same anyway. Nah. Yeah, true. But the only thing that I will say, to also flip that on its head, I think, and I hate to do this because I don't like generalizations, yeah. But one thing that I will say is, one thing that I noticed in the hood is that those of us in the hood, bro, why was it that even though we were struggling, we didn't have much to our names, so many of us still had the brand names things? I feel like we had priorities wrong.
You know what? We had priorities wrong, but you got to look at it from a side where, because it's the same argument with the whole flipping, people with low money still have big TVs and shit.
Yeah, what's that about?
If you don't have a lot of money, the least you're gonna do is buy yourself a flipping TV on our trainers. Because what else you gonna do with that money? If you're not of that thinking. Because even if you look at it alright, cool.
But it's not one though. Okay, one, yeah, but I'm talking about, I grew up in environments where people were living in a room with their family basically. There was maybe a room, the kitchen in front of everything was conjoined as one. It was hard situations, but yeah.
But it's that
brand names.
Again, it's crazy, but my understanding of it, what I think it is anyway, is bro, if you're in a shit situation, you've got nothing to your name, you can't see a way out, you're in this room sharing with how many people, and you've got a little bit of change to you, them pair of trainers are gonna make you feel good.
True.
You get what I'm saying? True. And yeah, it's not gonna be progressive, but because of the situation you're in, you're not even thinking 5 years down the line. You're thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
How's a man gonna think 5 years down the line when he could barely provide for his family that week?
And that's a big thing. There's no foresight in the hood. We didn't think maybe further than about 2 weeks.
But again, you couldn't, because we were in a situation, in a condition where 2 weeks from now, bro, my boy could be stabbed and dead.
Yes.
2 weeks, I've got beef. 2 weeks from now, that beef could either go one way or another.
Yeah, that's true.
It's difficult to think 5 years ahead.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? But I want to look off your head now.
Yeah, that's true. It's horrible, bro. Once again, PTSD. So many young men and young women, through the environments they're living in, are suffering with undiagnosed and untreated PTSD. And some people might get mad at me for saying that, because PTSD is a very serious condition that a lot of people go through from serious experiences in life. But I truthfully believe that a lot of the experiences that myself and other people like yourself who are from similar environments have gone through are traumatic.
And you got to understand, fear is subjective. So when we're talking
True.
about PTSD, and we're talking about, all right, what's a traumatic experience? Seeing your friend died, fear in your life, having guns fired at you, not knowing if you're going to be alive. Bro, that sounds like someone from the roads.
That's true. That's true. And I've been in that environment as well. I never forget, like, I've got a mad, this is just a random story, but I'll tell you anyway, but I've got a mad sixth sense. And I remember I was in a club in Muswell Hill. Do you remember the hill? You don't remember?
I'm from East.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're from East, sorry.
Muswell
Yeah.
size for a little bit.
Yeah, and I remember we were in the club now, yeah. And fam, I just know, you see me, blood, I just know when a man is moving dicey as well. Yeah. But anyway, some youths, I think I just came out of the toilet not too long before that, and some youths were in the toilet, yeah. And when the youth came out of the toilets now, one of the youths said something like, "Yeah," and I'm like, I know what that, yeah. Cause you see us, bro. You see where we're from, but things mean something else. Yeah. Like you see, like some people say you alright. You see what I'm saying? You're alright, yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
It's something completely different. So when I heard the I was like, attention. And then so like 2-2s, bro. Like I kind of just gripped my brethren a little bit. I'm just like, yo, hold on, this cool. Like, you know what I mean? This hold on, this stay there, innit? Man comes out, he's like, yeah. As he's come out now, he pull out one of the most beautiful chrome things I've ever seen in my life, blood. And literally, he started shooting towards my man. But the gun is like here where my face is. It's so close to me, I can smell the gunpowder like distinctly. And he fires it off. He ends up hitting like 2 gal in the leg. And I think he hit somebody. I didn't think he even hit the person he was intending to hit. But at that point, I grabbed my brethren and just kind of dived this way.
Hit the news?
No, bro. Actually, hold on.
Oh, I might be thinking of another.
It might have, it might have, because I remember reading about, hearing that the two girls.
But then I'm hearing that was a Birmingham thing as well, so I don't know if I'm getting it confused. But
Birmingham. Yeah, that one might be more recently.
The Birmingham was a couple years ago. But I know the crossfire with two girls.
Yeah. Like it was mad. Oh no, you're thinking about Letitia Shakespeare and them.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. That was a crazy. But that's Birmingham. I just come back from Birmingham. Like that's like my second city. There's still so much problems in politics in Birmingham in terms of the divisions, and I won't get onto it on camera. But Birmingham is such an amazing, beautiful city with such talented people and such good yard food. Yeah, like I just really hope that one day that these divisions they've got can be mended, man. Because what a great city, but it's marred by the divisions. I can't do certain things in the city. Like I can't bring certain people to certain places because of the divisions. And yeah, bro, it's mad.
But yeah, go on back to the
So and I dragged my friend into the toilet, like, and we ended up diving into the girls. They're like, "What the fuck?" And we're like, "No, look, sorry, like." There's a shooting happening out on the main dance floor. And then I remember after just feeling proper affected about it. And I remember my brother was like, bloody hell, so what, man? This thing's happening. Like, well, I never got licked. I'm just like, bro, man was just in a dance, where you just pulled out a gun and started firing into the crowd over whatever scuffle he had in the bathroom. Like, that was another mad moment for me where I was like, nah. I'm not about certain things. I can't justify certain things. My best friend dying as well, that was another thing as well. Like, that really affected me. And we still don't really know the full story. But he was in Scotland trapping. And he ends up being found dead. But I think, I don't know. I can't even speak on it. His mum's still mourning, man. But like, yeah, it's only a couple of years ago, man. Like, yeah, man. But like, things happened, and I realized I can't be part of certain things, and also I realized I have a responsibility. But to be honest, who really showed me I had a responsibility was one you. I don't know this you, and I would love to meet him again. Don't mean to be judgmental, but visibly a road man. And I remember he came up to me. I was at one like local kind of like event that a girl was doing, and I just came through to support kind of thing. And then he came up to me like, yo, I'm like, welcome, my brother, you alright? He's like, fam, I remember watching you, my baby mother, And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. And I remember saying to her that, yo, this is the only youth we got on TV that represents us.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. And that's why. And he started going on. He kind of got progressively more emotional, which was quite interesting. Roadman are the most emotional, you know.
Yes, they
the most
are.
emotional.
Yes, they are.
He progressively got more emotional.
Yes,
but I got stuck on that statement he said there because that made me realize in an instant, I've got a responsibility.
Doing something.
But not even just that, but I've got a responsibility. And I was like, I didn't put it together before. I was like, I'm just doing my thing in it. But no, I've got a responsibility because now I represent a certain demographic of people
who are listening to you.
Yeah, who see me as representative of them. And also, like, I can't fuck up now, which is kind of part of the reason why I started using Aarron Roach Bridgman, because I was like, I've got to put pressure on myself to not do anything wrong, because I've got my full government out there now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't do nothing wrong.
Way to look at it.
Yeah, and also because I'm out of respect to my grandparents, like my granddad, Freddie Roach, who always had love and faith in me, even though I was a terror when he was alive.
Freddie Roach sounds like
yeah, that was my granddad, man, and so I kept the Roach in there, even though it's part of my name anyway, but I kept it specifically. And also Bridgman, obviously that's my grandma's name. When she died, for some reason I kept saying stuff like, I'm gonna do your name proud. I don't know why that was coming out when I was crying. I'm gonna do your name proud, do your name proud. I promise, Gran, I'm gonna do your name proud. And I was just like, why was I saying that? But then I realized it's because I needed to do the name proud, bro. And I didn't know how I was going to, but literally, I think I went to Germany actually on a project because I was part of this international development program where we got talents from all over Europe and we come together and do projects. And I had to make a choice to go to Germany if I could still go because my grand just died. And I was like, I'm still going to go. And then while I was there, I realized I'm going to quit my job. And I'm going to try and do what I'm doing. And then no word of a lie, a couple months later, the SBTV thing happened. So it's like, grand, like I feel like because the thing is, I'll never forget, like I came home to Barbados, I feel more affinity to Barbados, to be honest. I think maybe because I was always there. I was there more than Dominica. And I came home to Barbados, and I had cane roll. And I don't know if you know about old school Caribbean, they're not really into not really. They think you're a Rasta. You're a Rasta now? Like I'm like, nah. And then I remember, you a Rasta now? Where? The boy turned Rasta?
I love the Asian accent, that's hard.
And so she takes me and she grabs me and she brings me in like for an embrace, and she was like, look, you is my grandson and I claim you. In the name of Jesus Christ, I claim you. And like the thing is, you need to understand how deep that is. Like my grandma said that I claim you. Like that was powerful. See what it is for me? It's like I think maybe even her as a woman and people in general don't understand how much importance I place on words. The words you use are very, very powerful. Like she said, I claim you. So that for me was like rare. This woman is actually claiming me as her own, no matter what I do and am. That's powerful, bro. So I felt it from there, and I was like, this woman loves me regardless. I knew that I was a little bit of a tyrant. I knew they used to give me some real licks as well. Like
really bad.
Yeah, I had anger issues.
Had?
Yeah, I had. I feel like I still get kind of angry, but I'm not like then. So I can control my anger now. And I could also tell myself, calm down, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you're getting so...
You're nice and really like...
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man? And like, so... Yeah, man, I had anger issues. And I think one of the most... And this is something that we can start to kind of, I guess, close in with. But like one of the things that I realized the most, that's quite worrying as well, is that when you ask me why I was so angry at that age, and as a teenager, I can't tell you why. And that also, I guess, adds more to my whole conversation about the issues that young people are going through and not dealing with, and therefore it's coming out in certain ways, and also is maybe evidence of PTSD, because I was so angry. But if you ask me why I was so angry, I can't, even to now, I can't tell you why.
Have you ever considered counselling or thought
I need to. I'm going to at one point. My agent said to me as well that two people. My agent said to me, Aarron, are you stipulating in your contracts to have counselling included in your contract? And I'm like, no. She's like, I think you should.
Of course, because of the stuff you're doing, the stories you're taking on board.
And I didn't think about that, so I'm going to think about that actually. And then also I met a craniopsychologist the other day, and she told me off because she said, you're breaking the cycle. I'm like, what's going on here? She goes, there's a cycle. She goes, even me as a craniopsychologist, with all the people that I talk to, I have someone that I go to offload on. She goes to me, you're breaking a cycle because you're in our cycle now where you're getting people offloading on you and you're not offloading it anywhere, so you're breaking the cycle. You need to offload. Everyone needs to have someone to offload onto professionally. And I'm like, raw. I'm like, okay, cool. Once I can afford it, I will, yeah? Once I can afford you, because she's like world renowned and thing. I'm like, I can't really afford you unless you want to do me. And she's like, nah, alright, cool. like, you get me? But like, she made me realize I'm breaking the cycle, and we can't do that because that's what leads to the inconsistencies and also the I guess the, you know, when you've got like people that don't take their rubbish to the right place and you just go somewhere and you find out rubbish just spewed all over the floor. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Like, rather than taking my rubbish and putting it in the right place, my rubbish might just get spilled all over the road, causing a smell, causing a stink. You don't want that. You get me?
It's been great talking.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot more of this conversation.
Yeah, man.
One thing I thought, and two, then you probably think you will know. Just some of the stuff you've said really resonate with me. Some of the responses you've had, just some of your stories as well. Especially because, not only because it's similar, synonymous to mine, but just because I feel like sometimes you're way ahead of me, but we are in the same place, maybe. Just headspace, where we are, how we see things, ambition, whatever. And yeah, bro, it was a great chat.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. And I feel like, you know what it is? It's because I feel like, not just because we come from the same era, but I think that helps. And you know what it is? Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing when we can get to this place. But the thing is, we got to try and get some of the rest of them to this place before they lose their life, bro. Because I'm noticing I know some man that were some seriously dangerous guys when we were younger, but now they are settled down. They've got mature minds.
But that's why I asked you at the beginning. That's why I asked you at the beginning. Do you consider yourself special? Because I know you wouldn't consider yourself special, but I think it takes something to look at your situation and circumstances and carry on regardless. And I asked that because I said the same thing to my mum. Because when I was talking to my mum about growing up in a fatherless home, she was like, that shouldn't be an excuse because of blah blah blah. There's people that's gone and done things regardless. And I said, yeah, but those people, they're not special, but you have to be made of something.
Yeah.
Or you have to have something in your mind to sit around and say, yo, this is what I'm going to do regardless. So
yeah,
maybe the only thing we could do is inspire those to bring that out of people. Because I don't think it's something that's unique to people. I just think it needs to be brought out.
Yeah. And I truthfully believe that because I found so many abilities in so many of these young kids that I work with who are apparently hard to reach, hard to teach, problem kids. Everyone had little abilities and skills that no one knew about. And I was just like, wow, that just needs to be nurtured. And I think with me, to be honest, you know what? I think a major part of my story that I don't talk about is the fact that I went to a private school as a primary school. My mum sent me to a private school because apparently everyone was saying, yo, this boy is very, very sharp, very, very quick. You should try to make sure he's in the right environment that he can like really capitalize on the sharpness that he has. And I think maybe the reason why, I guess, I never went to a private high school. I went to a normal high school because I was just like, I could tell my mum couldn't afford it. I could tell it was killing her. But as a young 11-year-old, you're not going to tell your mum you understand about that. I was very emotive. I was very emotionally perceptive from very young. Very, very young, but I didn't say anything. I would just understand the situation. My mum always says to me, I remember that there was a Christmas when my birthday's on Boxing Day. So Christmas is not just Christmas, it's my birthday as well. She goes, I never forget there was a Christmas when we didn't have much money and I remember told you all I could afford was just like this bucket of sweets she bought me, and she goes, you never complained. It's because I understood. I wasn't happy. I wanted presents. But I understood that it's a hard time right now, emotionally perceptive. But back to what I was saying, I think that private school foundation kind of gave me an accelerated way of thinking earlier.
You did? Okay.
I think possibly it gave me maybe a bit, because don't forget, they don't teach you to be smarter, but they teach you, they intensify certain, and they intensify certain things. And I think that kind of, like, even though I left that environment, and when I went to high school, I had to really prove myself, because apparently I remember one of my white mates, Chris, he told me that apparently I used to speak quite posh, and I probably did, because I found a video that my parents had, and because I was in that school, they were teaching you how to speak in a certain way. So I spoke in a certain way. I wore glasses. I didn't come from the same school as all these guys, so I went into high school and had to prove myself. So I went, that's why I was so bad. I went all the way that way.
That's interesting.
I went all the way that way. Like, man ain't taking me for a prick. I had to go in as a big fish from a tiny pond, a completely different pond, and prove myself in this whole new environment to the point where I managed to scale the social standards, even with glasses.
You see the glasses or contacts?
Contact lenses.
What's your prescription?
Yeah, it's like I've got like less than half vision. It's like minus 0.5.
Oh,
and
you're
minus,
right then. I'm minus 7.5, fam. I'm blind, cuz.
No way, 7.5.
Minus 7.5. I'm blind, fam. I got contacts now.
Minus 0.25. Are you sure?
Yeah.
So what does it mean? So what does mine mean? Because I can't see nothing without these, bro.
But what's it like? Like, how blurry?
Blurry. I can make out silhouettes at most. Facial features. I
wouldn't be able to. Like,
I will ask you.
Like the kettle bag on the floor, I wouldn't be able to read kettle from here if I didn't have my contacts.
Yeah, we both got bad eyes. Maybe it's something in Dominica. It gives us, give us a superpower, but then it takes away something else, isn't it?
Who knows,
yeah,
bro?
we gotta give away something.
Maybe we should investigate it.
Yeah, man. And as much as we're making a joke out of it, you know what? Yeah, people, if you do come from a different country or place, it's very worth you going and exploring that if you haven't already. And also, black people, man, let's go to Africa and see what it's about, man. I went to Africa and it really changed a lot of my psyche towards things. Like, I just really got like an enlightenment, bro. It just gave me a clarity of thinking. About 3 years ago. Yeah. About 3 years ago, I went to Gambia.
That's one of the best places to go, because you really got it.
Yeah, and I went to Senegal after, and I went to Jufre Island, which is where they would hold a lot of this, possibly Mayans, because I know Barbados, a lot of them came from Gambia originally, or Ghana. The Akan tribe, I believe, is where a lot of our ancestors came from. And I went to visit where they held them, and that was a very emotional time for me because it was so hot. And then I saw these little chambers that they would keep in like hundreds of people in there. Not even 20 people should have been able to fit in there. And it just made me, I got really angry, but then I got really emotional. And I remember, because it was a tourist trip, there were people that were just there generally looking, and people were talking and having their little moment. And I was like, yo, no one should be talking right now. No one should be laughing. You get me? And I remember after, on the way back, the guy was like, my brother, what happened? You're not speaking now. You're upset? I said, yeah. He goes, I know. He understood. He didn't even say, he knew. He did say, I know, but you have to understand, this is the history. And I was just like, yeah, I hear you. But yeah. So let's explore, man, and let's come together more, man, and let's really try to rise up as a people, because that's what we need right now. You get me? I know it sounds all fantastical and hippie-ish, but it really is the truth. You get me? The hippie.
Am I gonna get you on there again?
Yeah, man. Let's do it again.
Cool.
Let's do it again, man. Let's do some more. Let's talk, man. Let's have conversations.
Let's talk, innit?
It's important, man.
I feel that.
Love, my brother.
My brother,
cool.
Thank you very much for your time, man.
Come on, man.